In 1972, the UN General Assembly designated 5th June as World Environment Day. The first celebration under the slogan Only One Earth took place in 1973. In the following year, the World Environment Day has developed as a platform to raise awareness on the problems facing our environment, such as air pollution, plastic, illegal wildlife trade, sustainable consumption, sea level increase, and food security, among others. Furthermore, the World Environment Day helps drive change in consumption patterns and in national and international environment policy. This year marks the 50th anniversary of World Environment Day, which will focus on solutions to plastic pollution using the hashtag and slogan #BeatPlasticPollution. Every year, the United Nations announces a new World Environment theme. World Environment Day theme 2023 is Solutions to Plastic Pollution. The host country for 2023 is Ivory Coast, which has banned the use of plastic bags since 2014, supporting a shift to reusable packaging. The country's largest city, Abidjan, has also become a hub for startups looking to beat plastic pollution. This year's World Environment Day will be supported by the Government of Netherlands, which is one of the countries taking ambitious action along the plastic life cycle. It is the signatory of the New Plastics Economy Global Commitment and a member of the Global Partnership on Plastic Pollution and Marine Litter.
Hello there, viewers, and welcome to this special presentation on World Environment Day. As globally we observe the World Environment Day 2023, the theme for this year's World Environment Day is Solutions to Plastic Pollution. And that is the biggest looming threat upon our environment. While talking about the global issues because of plastic pollution, we all know that around 400 million tons of plastic is produced every year, and half of it is non-recyclable, because of which the major amount of plastic waste is being dumped everywhere, which we can see in our rivers, in our lakes. We can see it all around the landscapes and especially in the ocean as well. So how we will go about solving this problem is the big question that we need to answer. And for the future generations to come, well, that will be the biggest dilemma that awaits them. Plastic is something that we cannot do away with. As a matter of fact, the consumption of plastic every single day is increasing day by day. Be it the single-use plastic that we use as carry bags, be it the plastic materials that we have been using in our households, or be it the plastic packaging that we can see of galore types and materials that are used for packaging. But this has also led to a very serious concern of what is the solution to do away with it. Well, as I said earlier, that half of these plastic materials which are produced are non-recyclable, And that's why we can see many of them all around us. So how we will go about solving this big problem? As a matter of fact, that is what we are going to highlight and talk about. Well, we will be also hearing from eminent personalities who will be sharing their thoughts about how to go about solving the problem of plastic pollution.
Menta ka sngi ka day ka World Environment Day, lene ka sngi ka ba ngi rakhe kerpang na ka benta ka may mariang. But menta usnem ka team lene ka kendon ka bangi hap perkat jeleu bha ka long beat plastic pollution. Kamut bangi day banyale persya palat ya ki plastik. Ya ki plastik but iki ni ki jingsop plastik ki baharu kom. Kani ka de jing ka bakraw tam na mar kini ki plastik ha bakut kili lum hapo ki duriau hapo ki wa ngi long ngidon ka kanhun ka kerteng ka operation clean up nadu usnem arhajar khat khandai ngi pen khoj ki wa ngi pen khoj ki jaka ki ba kum ki public place keleng but ngi ani ka thma jongi ka dai persya hi ki plastik man bengli pen khoj ka wa ka liar hang the pinda pej pinda wan hang tu pinyo i kumba lai sau truck man bengi pen khut lai sau truck kendon ki plastik ki babun hi de ki plastik nang ta sa ki jan ki neb ki brew ki bread hapo wa ngas ngo ba kani ka de ka kaburu ban kentu ban kerpat ki brew jongi ba ki num bread ye ki nyut ye ki nyer ki banayeng hakawa te namar ka wa ka de ka jingim but ladangi penyap no ikini ki wa la syahidin habut ngin yo syu na ken ki jingthung jingtep rungin yo ai na namar bun kini ki wa ki tuit ter kum tu bat ki tuit ki penthor ki pentha ka ba te lada kini ki wa ki long bi kamut ka penthor kan long bi but ka pen long bi ye ki wa barabor ka dei ka plastik ki ong khamtam ka tu ka plastik yong ka long carcinogenic ki ong ba kala ru ban ai ka jingpang cancer ya kan ngi la kren pun sen pha ringi shamba kinong de do kha kidang ya sop hi kidang ya ai yang ngi de kitu ki plastik yong kitu plastik yong te ki ba sniu palat tengas nguru badai ban ong ka sarkar ken ba lada ka ban ni ka plastik lada ka pen kam sha shu ban wara ki plastik sha ka ni ka jela jongi kam dai ban pen hiar dia ka kendon te ban ong ba ngin sya tang baka plastik ke ban long 10 microns thick nene 20 microns thick tang pitang shula abu kata ka kendon kamut ki plastik skini ai wan hi ladangi kwa ban ke plastik ban pendam ki ngin pendam senan ke nai sya shu hi ban wan plastik tikito ki kitar ki basop plastik ru ko muata kum ki peniang ikito ru ka sarkar kala dai ban le ai ban yo no da ki jingsop ki bam penjulor ya kamariang.
More than 400 million tons of plastic is produced every year worldwide, half of which is designed to be used only once. An estimated 19 to 23 million tons end up in lakes, rivers and seas annually. Microplastics, tiny plastic particles up to 5 millimeters in diameter, find their way into food, water and air. It is estimated that each person on the planet consumes more than 50,000 plastic particles per year, and many more if inhalation is considered. Discarded or burnt single-use plastic harms human health and biodiversity and pollutes every ecosystem from mountain tops to the ocean floor.
And that is the reason why it has adversely affected the Umyam Lake at large. As a matter of fact, the two tributaries, which is the Umkra and the Shirpi, are contributing towards the death of the Umyam through the tons of waste that is being carried all throughout and being dumped right here at the Umyam Lake. This is, of course, the source of hydroelectricity in the state of Meghalaya. But what we can see right behind is the threat that is looming above this natural lake. And if you look closely, well, what we'll find is this, the main reason behind it, which is the plastic waste. Tons of plastic bottles and packaging materials that we can see being littered all around. What is the solution to this problem? And that is exactly what we need to figure out. As a matter of fact, these are all household materials that we have been using. So the big question that remains to be answered is, what about plastic waste management? And that's something is what we need to ponder upon, starting right from our homes, in the commercial areas, and also above all, if we look at the entire state as a whole. What is that waste management system that we have in place? What is that waste management system that we have in place to solve the problem of the consumption and the usage of plastic?
The theme for World Environment Day that is being celebrated today, the 5th June 2023, will focus on solutions to plastic pollution under the campaign Beat Plastic Pollution. It has been a major concern with respect to waste management when it is being seen that the major issue towards handling solid waste is the indiscriminate disposal of plastic that is found to be of no use anymore to any individual. More than 400 billion tons of plastic is being estimated to be generated across the world every year. And this will find its way either to the nearest water body or to the nearest open land that is not being used. And because of this, the issues that are being created is that those open spaces are grazing grounds for cattle, for sheep, and then they consume plastic, and then most of us have witnessed in social media the kind of impact it is created on the animals that are consuming the plastics. And the plastics that find their way into the natural water bodies has also impacted a lot of the aquatic life, suffocating the spawning and the breeding ground of the aquatic life that is thriving in that particular water body, thereby rendering it to be very disturbing for the natural ecosystem of that area. My appeal to the general public of the city and of the state is, let us be waste-wise. Plastics are there to help us and making our lifestyle a bit easy, but then it should not be at the cost of our own health, because in the end, whatever indiscriminate action that we do towards waste management, it comes back to us. If we are waste-wise, if we are concerned about the waste that is being generated from our individual households, it will go a long way in tackling this issue of waste management, and especially in the main theme for this year's World Environment is Beat Plastic Pollution. So let us be waste-wise, and let us be concerned about the whole ecosystem of the planet to ensure that plastic is being disposed of in a proper and in a scientific manner.
And practically, to find the solution to plastic waste is this, the landfill. Because that's absolutely the problem solver at this point of time. Here in the state of Meghalaya and the Shillong city in particular, we have this landfill here, which is called as the Martin, which is the only place where we are dumping most, or rather all, of our plastic waste. Though there is an effort put together towards segregating the plastic waste, yet we can see the tons and tons and tons of pile of plastic waste that is right there burning right behind me. But is this the solution to the problem? Rather, it's causing more environmental degradation because of these toxic fumes that we can see right behind us. So, if you're talking about the solutions for plastic pollution, I guess we all will have to look at few aspects here. The first one will be absolutely to go back to our roots. Because if we look down history, our forefathers were not the ones who were using plastic waste, or they have not been the ones who have been consuming plastic. Let's talk about in the state of Meghalaya, the usage of single-use plastic has been a recent phenomenon. But rather in the good old days, it was the cloth bag or the plough which was used as an alternative. Or rather, it was used as the only means to carry necessary materials. But now, the consumption, or rather the usage of single-use plastic is so rampant that for anything and everything, single-use plastic is being used. So the only solution to do away with single-use plastic is to be able to get back to our roots and start using the cloth bag and find other materials such as paper bags that can be used as alternatives. Well, the other would be to be able to find a proper waste management in terms of recycling of plastic waste. In the state of Meghalaya, sadly, we do not have a system in place wherein we can recycle plastic waste. Right about now, all we are doing is segregating them and dealing with it as scrap. But the need of the hour is to have a proper plastic recycling plant in the state of Meghalaya. And also what the need of the hour is to come up with reforms through new technology in the state so that we can find better alternatives instead of using plastic. Well, be it consumable materials or for that matter, be it even in the packaging materials. So hence there is a need for a comprehensive and a scientific approach towards solving this problem.
With available science and solutions to tackle the problem, governments, companies, and other stakeholders must scale up and speed actions to solve the crisis. This underscores the importance of the World Environment Day in mobilizing transformative action from every corner of the world. A resolution was adopted in 2022 at the United Nations Environment Assembly to develop a legally binding instrument on plastic pollution, including in the marine environment, with the ambition to complete the negotiations by the end of 2024.
Today is a very auspicious day as far as the environment is concerned. We are celebrating the World Environment Day today all over the world, and I think it is a very important in the lives of each and every individual who are inhabiting this planet. Well, World Environment Day we celebrate or observe once a year. But according to me, each and every day has to be an environment day because our environment is going through a lot of pangs, pain, disasters, denigration all over the planet. And humanity, planet Earth, is in the grip of a catastrophe which is looming large. there is danger lurking, and it is time for each and every one of us to be vigilant and take steps not only to protect, conserve, but also make efforts to restore and reclaim the holistic environment which we have lost. Coming back to our state of Meghalaya, I think we are also not free from this catastrophe. We are witnessing the climate change factors, the heat wave, and it has been continuing for the last 2 decades or more. We are facing water shortage. There has been deforestation, mining of fossil fuels, and improper waste management. At one time, our state, the Northeast, and the entire Eastern Himalayas belt used to enjoy salubrious environment. The ambience was very good, but there has been a deterioration over the last 2 to 3 decades, and it is going on at a very fast pace. World Environment Day each year has a theme based on which certain pledge, certain interventions, certain actions are being taken up in different societies, the institutions, the public, the stakeholders. But I think we need to do more on the ground. Instead of having, I think the time for seminars, sensitization is over. It is time to act. And the theme this year pertains to the menace of plastic. And we have all know the figures, how many million tons of plastics are dumped in the, starting from the small rivulets, in fact, starting from our home. So protection of the environment has to start from each individual household or home. Then we go to the communities and to the larger part of the cities and states and the country. But our home is the focal point where we need to concentrate. And this plastic generates from homes, the industries, the commercial establishments, and it percolates, finally finds its place to the rivers through the sanitary landfill, where plastic is not being totally treated. They find their place into the underground water, the water aquifers, the lakes, the rivers, and finally to the oceans. We have seen the menace in different parts of the city, in our own city, in our own state, where it is Waumkra, Umshirpi, Mintudu, Simsang. Plastic is one of the main causes. And to check this menace, as I said, in our individual homes, I feel that particularly plastic needs to be totally phased out within the next 3 years if we are to ameliorate the situation. I was also in the expert member of the State Planning Board, and we had started a movement that PLA and SLA. We have lot of these SLA which is being grown in the rural areas, so we can replace entire plastic from our state. If this is brought into the organized sector, it will provide livelihood to our people who are settled in the rural areas to go for organized farming of those SLA. And I do not personally subscribe to the view of so many microns is good enough and so many micron is bad enough. Plastic is plastic, so they should not be categorized into micron wise. All plastics has to be banned. Then we have so many self-help groups who can be involved. We have our old clothes like jensam, saris, and other materials which can be collected to create pla. We remember when we were young, I grew up in the area of Laitumukra, born there. We have seen our parents, our elders used to go to the market with a pla. But nowadays, there is such a strong nexus that even if you go with the pla, they will wrap in a plastic and then put into the pla, which is just not done. So it has to be a people's movement, whether it is government or whether it is some organizations or district councils or policing, that will not happen. Consciousness has to come to the people, and it has to be a people's movement if we are to remove plastic from our life. Once we achieve this, I would urge and appeal to all residents of our state that let us as a state show an example and be an example to the rest of the country and the world that we can and we will do it, and we will obliterate plastic from our life within the next 3 years. So this is my message. We need to work on the ground. Celebration is fine one day, but every day should be a World Environment Day.
This year's theme focuses on encouraging people to give up on the usage of plastic and identify it as the source of environmental degradation. World Environment Day is celebrated in a new host country every year. The World Environment Day is a significant event. A. It raises awareness about many ways in which our environment is getting degraded. B. This day encourages people and leaders to think of appropriate solutions for environmental preservation. C. World Environment Day is the perfect opportunity to reflect on our actions and decide to live life more sustainably.
Hello, and a very happy World Environment Day 2023 to all of you watching this program today. As you know, since its inception in the UN in 1972, the World Environment Day has been celebrated since 1973 with different themes related to the conservation and preservation of the environment. Today, this year's theme for World Environment Day is Beat Plastic Pollution. For us this year, the celebration of World Environment Day has a special significance. It is extra special, it is extra significant because this year all our actions and our activities related and building up towards celebrating World Environment Day is being aligned to the global mission called LIFE. That is capital L, small I, capital F, and capital E. So the concept of LIFE was introduced by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the COP26 of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And in that COP, he called upon the global community to start LIFE, that is lifestyle for the environment, as a global movement. And LIFE envisages that we would live a life friendly to the environment and not in the present system that we are living in, the prevalent lifestyle of use and dispose, which is governed by mindless and destructive, consumptive way, should be replaced by a more environment-friendly lifestyle, which should be defined by mindful and deliberate utilization. So Mission LIFE has 7 themes, which I'm just showing you in this small paper. So it says save energy, reduce waste, reduce e-waste, adopt healthy lifestyle, adopt sustainable food system, and say no to single-use plastics. So this mission life, it plans to create and nurture a group of individuals committed to living a lifestyle for the environment. And this group of individuals would be, this network of these individuals would be called the pro-planet people, or the P3 people as we popularly call it. And then these P3 people, the pro-planet people, we will have a commitment towards the environment, and then will not only adopt, but will also promote life and sustainable way of living. So why this is different from the other programs is that this big war on climate change that we've been fighting till today, we are bringing it down to the individual level. So this time it's not about, big global agreements, big treaties, or big conferences and big programs, but this is now bringing the climate change narrative to the individual level. We now acknowledge that each person's action, our individual's action and practice in our daily life will have an impact on climate change. So this has completely changed the narrative of climate change, and it has brought climate change, the fight for combating climate change, right to our doorstep and right to each of us. So this is, like what Mahatma Gandhi has said, be the change you want to see in this world. So if we want to fight climate change, if we want to conserve and preserve the environment, each action should start from you and I. So this is the concept that we are promoting. Life, let me tell you once more, capital L, small I, capital F, and capital E. So much of value has been added to this year's World Environment Day celebrations because of aligning with this mission life. So let us make this into a mission. With life, World Environment Day celebration would not be a matter of just one day. If you practice a lifestyle for environment, life, in your daily life, every day of your life, then every day can be a celebration of World Environment Day. So I'd like to greet you once again on the occasion of World Environment Day, and let every day be a World Environment Day for all of us.
Plastic pollution and its detrimental impacts on health, the economy, and the environment cannot be ignored. Urgent action is needed. At the same time, we need true, effective, and robust solutions. The 2023 World Environment Day campaigns #BeatPlasticPollution calls for global solutions to combat plastic pollution.
One of the major problems of plastic pollution, as we can see all around us, is us, who have been in this habit of dumping our garbage and our litter all around us. Most of the plastic waste that you can see are these non-recyclable plastic. Although the government has put a ban on the use of plastic carry bags below 50 microns, yet what we see is there is a rampant sale and usage of it. So how are we going to solve this problem? Now, until and unless there is a paradigm shift in our habits, behavioral change is what we need at this point of time. And like I said earlier, it's important for us to get back to our roots, to use the cloth carry bags to marketplaces and to make it into a habit. And apart from that, what we all need to do is to find a scientific and a sustainable plastic waste management system to be put in place, where items which can be recycled can be recycled and used in various forms, while we should put an end to all of those materials or plastic products that cannot be recycled at all. Hence, this is a very complex problem, keeping in mind that the consumption of plastic is increasing day by day globally, and hence there is a need for us to find a solution to this ever endangering problem that is hampering our environment all around. So this is Nicholas J. Karnami once again sending across a message to each and every one of us on this World Environment Day, that if we want to bring an end and a solution to plastic pollution, let's begin with each and every one of us pledging to reduce, reuse, and refuse the usage of plastic. While in the meantime, there is a comprehensive effort that is needed from the government, from the different industries, and at large for each and every one of us to make sure that we can all unite in this fight against plastic pollution. Once again, we thank you for watching this program, and I hope that we all will take our humble initiatives in small ways possible to bring the much needed change that we want to see.